In this problem, we're going to solve a word problem using matrices. So it says two lacrosse teams submit equipment lists to their sponsors. The women's team needs 5 sticks, 15 balls, and 16 uniforms. The men's team needs 8 sticks, 22 balls, and 17 uniforms. Each stick costs $55, each ball costs $6, and each uniform costs $35. Use matrix multiplication to find the total cost of the equipment for each team. Since this is a math class and it tells you that you have to use matrix multiplication, by default, you have to use matrix multiplication. This is a problem that you could figure out the long way, essentially, without using matrices, but you're still going to do all of the exact same work. You're just going to have a lot more to keep track of. So first we need to start off by making our matrix. We're going to have two matrices because we're multiplying. Obviously we need two things. We're going to have one matrix, which is going to be all of the things we are getting, and another matrix that is the cost of each thing. So my first matrix is going to be a 2 by 3 matrix. It's a 2 by 3 matrix because there are two teams and they're getting three things. All right, so the women's team I'm going to have as the top line just because they show up first. The men's team will be the second line because they showed up second. But the women's team needed 5 sticks, 15 balls, 16 uniforms. The men's team needed 8 sticks, 22 balls, and 17 uniforms. It really doesn't matter the order that you put these things in as long as they are matching. So I had the women's team be line 1, men's team be line 2. You could have that flip-flopped. I had sticks first, balls second, uniforms third. As long as it's the same order in both of those rows, it doesn't matter. I put it in this order because that's how it showed up in the problem. Now my second matrix is going to be a 3 by 1 matrix because there are still three things, but each thing has one cost. Okay? It's a different cost for each thing, obviously, but I need to make sure, since we're doing matrix multiplication, these two middle numbers match. So my first entry in each row was number of sticks, so I have to start with a stick cost, which is 55. Second thing was balls, so I've got ball cost of $6, and the third thing was uniform cost, which is 35. Now, when I get a final answer as a matrix, it's going to be a 2 by 1 matrix. There are two teams and one cost, right? This is going to be the cost for each team when we're done. Now, I'm going to break it up into two separate matrices, a intermediate show our work step and a final answer, but it's going to end up as a 2 by 1 matrix. So with matrix multiplication, we take row 1 times column 1. There's only one column in that second category, or that second matrix, so this shouldn't really be that long or terrible. The numbers are bigger, so it's a little bit kind of annoying, I guess. But we start with 5 times 55. That's going to give us 275. And then we just add and keep going across. 15 times 6 is 90. Plus 16 times 35 is 560. Okay, now I go the next row. This is the second row in my answer. 8 times 55 is going to be 440. 22 times 6 is going to be 132. And 17 times 35 gives me 595. When I add all this stuff up, I get a nice matrix of two numbers, 925 for the top and 1,167 for the bottom. So if I want to write this as a sentence, since it said find the cost of equipment, the equipment for the women's team costs $925, and the men's team I completely missed the word team in there. Whoops. And the men's team's cost is 1,167. Okay, this is the multiplication and addition you would have done without a matrix, but the matrices just kind of make it so it's a little bit shorter and more condensed. Hope everybody has a great day.